Oh, this is unbelievable. So they're bringing together all these teams for a month-long Club World Cup competition. Smack at the end of the European Champions League play and all the other mega tournaments. This was kind of forced down the mouths of the players and the teams. There's a lot of money available here for the champion if they win it. Here's a prime example. Champions League star Paris Saint-Germain of France. They just won the Champions League, which is the epitome of all European soccer. Their players had 15 days off. They had to get on a plane and come 6,000 miles out here to play in this thing in a month-long tournament. Paris Saint-Germain's players have played 58 games this year. 58. Manchester City, the English Premier League legend, they played 57. There's no recovery time from injuries for players because you got to continue to train. There's hardly any days off. And everybody, the players are really upset. The agents are really upset. The quality of play is really hard. Hey, so FIFA, which is always about the money, is the one that created this idea. FIFA is the one that expanded the Champions League in Europe. Now they created the Club World Cup. They're expanding next year's World Cup to more teams. These players have no time to rest, no time to get healthy because they're in constant training mode. And when these guys get done with this, most of these guys will have only 18 days off because the English Premier League, Italian Serie A, the French League, they start their training camps 15 days after the Club World Cup is over. I mean, this is an absolute money grab more than is anything. And the fans don't like it. Do you know they had 3,700 for a game in Orlando? 3,700. They had 3 games of under 10,000 played in mammoth NFL stadiums last weekend. It's just huge problem. And the president of the French league, La Liga, just announced he will lead a drive against FIFA to have this thing folded at the end of this year, saying there's no room on the schedule. You've expanded all these other tournaments because it's a money grab, saying you're draining the TV contracts because there's no way to get more soccer on the pitch and get new TV contracts to put more money in the pot. And there's a lot of money in the pot. That's the big issue, is that whoever wins this thing is going to wind up with, I want to say, $93 million total prize money. Whoever wins the Club World Cup. But I think it's turned out to be a financial boondoggle, and it's been grossly unfair to the players. And American fans, with rare exception, aren't going to see all these games. Just an absolute fiasco.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking that soccer is sort of a once-a-week sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you figure there's 52 weeks in a year, and they're playing 58, so how does that all fit? I'm starting to think, I'm brainstorming, and I'm thinking, what if these teams, I mean, you can't expect your superstars to be playing every single week of the whole year and never having time off.
You play a league game on Saturday or Sunday, but they also play, there's a midweek game that they play. They might be friendlies.
Yeah.
They might be in a different type of tournament. There might be a qualifier for something else. We spent all last week screeching about what's happened with Christian Pulisic and the fusillade of criticism directed at him. This is a prime example. Players need to unionize. That's what the hell the players
Okay, here
play.
we go.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We're going to bring in the union guys. But
well, we're talking about ice runs.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, here we are. Your SEIU, you're going to be leading the charge. Now, I'm wondering though if these teams, like for example, a Club World Cup team like Paris Saint-Germain, well, when they come to America and play in this tournament, is it reasonable for American fans to expect that their top stars are going to be playing in the United States? And because even if they were, like you say, the crowd is not that much. I mean, it's only a few thousand.
Yeah, the Club World Cup games, the stars are supposed to be there, but nobody's going to see some of these games.
But I think that's the thing, is I think we have to reset expectations. And maybe there's like an A team, a B team, and a C team for every one of these clubs. And that sometimes, we're going to let the A team have a month off, and the B team is what's going to go represent us in the Club World Cup.
Yeah, but is John Q. soccer fan in San Diego gonna go want to see Paris Saint-Germain's B team without its
Well,
stars?
but if the A players for another team are going to be there, maybe so. And besides, this gives a lot of the young guys, the opportunity to get out there and play. So I think we as fans have to adjust our perception. We can't expect to see, Messi every, 100 times a year. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. So I don't shame FIFA for the so-called money grab. I mean, if there's money on the table, yeah, go get it. Go grab it. Nothing wrong with that. You're going to pay the players, you're going to fund the league, but I think just need to structure it a little differently. Yeah, maybe a union helps. I mean, if they can find out a way to make this win for all parties.
I don't know how the schedule is so jammed. And now they start the Club World Cup on top of the expansion of the regular World Cup next year. More teams, more games.
That's good.
On top of the expansion of the Champions League that they just got completed. I mean, there's just games all the time, and there's no recovery time for the players.
No. I mean, it's incredible. That's why I've always said the soccer schedule is weird.
Yep.
It's not like, well, it's weird for us as an American, right? Because there's all these different leagues and they all have their different schedules. And there's all these different championship formats and tournaments, and some are friendly and some don't count and some do count. And all the mid-tier tournaments, the CONCACAF and the Gold Cup and Nations Cup and all these different things.
That's right.
You almost need like a whiteboard to kind of sketch it all out.
Soccer fan, you got an opinion? Help us solve this thing. Fans Forum chat box is open.